In the spring of 2022, we bought a 1980 downeaster cutter that was neglected for a decade. We sailed her up north to her new home port on the central coast of California, did a major haul out, and prepped her for blue water cruising. This life is completely new to us, but the dream is far from it, and finally we see it within reach. For the first time ever, we've moved on to Mundial and are continuing to ready her before we set sail. Thanks for joining us as we acquire our sea legs and say goodbye to land life. Today's a big day today. We are taking Mundial to the dock to take down the bobstay.
No. No, we're not.
What are we doing? The problem is that we need to replace we need to get a new Genoa. The furler is also broken. A couple things at play here.
One of our foils in our roller furler has got a kink in it. I suspect that when everything was rolled up and the furler was tied off, that one of the Genoa sheets got tensioned or stepped on hard enough, because I'm pretty sure the kink's right where it would foil around in the fully closed position. So that kink is making it so that the head on the furler can't slide down the foils, so that means it's about 10, it's probably about 12 feet off the deck, 10 feet off the deck. The head can't slide down the foil, so we can't get the sail off because the head won't come down with it. It gets stuck, so yeah. We've decided, I think the best option, since the head needs to be checked out and probably service the head of the furler, the foil either needs to be replaced or straightened. I'm pretty sure aluminum's going to be replaced. Might as well, while it's down, replace that head stay, because it's down, it's off. So we're going to try to take the whole thing off as a unit and walk it down the dock as it gets lowered.
That's the plan.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so a lot of things going on today, and that's why you hear the engine in the background, because now we are heading to the dock to do the work, because we need to be on land. And yeah, another beautiful foggy day here in Morro Bay. June bloom. Moved onto the boat just in time. All right, let's get off the ball. We've been motoring over to the dock each weekend to fill our tanks, empty trash, and keep projecting on the boat. I've been wanting to get more comfortable behind the helm, and I guess today was the day. We don't normally cross-train on a lot of things, but with owning a sailboat, that was no longer an option. What?
Going at the dock. Just let shift off. That fast. So just before we do it, so we'll cast off. We'll slide back. Just as long as we don't run into the boat, we're fine.
Okay.
Those are our first options on the drift.
Okay.
You didn't do anything wrong, but I'm just giving you.
Yeah.
So like knowing that if you give the boat a shot of reverse, that the stern is going to wash out to the port side. If you came in and you got your bow so that your bow was started to point into the point that way, and then a shot of reverse so that the stern is going to go whoosh, you would have been like.
Well, I did it my first docking. It was stressful AF, but Grant thinks I did okay. Practice will make perfect though.
It's
okay,
like
time to get to work.
The boat's going like 100 miles an hour.
I feel like it is. While Grant's working on getting the furler off. I am filling up our water tanks, and this thing is so nice that he made, because now we can tell. Before, it's just kind of like a guessing game on how full the tanks were, and so then he installed these sight gauges to see actually how full our tank is. So if I turn this one on, this is completely empty, and I actually know that for a fact. And then I was just filling up this tank over here. See how much water's in here. I only filled it up for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Let's see. So, all right, they're both very empty because there's no water. So let's go. And keep filling them up. Yeah. We'll keep that going. Okay, back a couple minutes later and almost full. Kind of hard to see, but the water is right there. Let me put this with my foot. Right there. And then I'll open the gauge and it might let some pressure in, so now it's open and the gauge is saying that we're almost full, which is really nice. So it's the same level as the water in the tank. That's about 3/4 of the way full. And that's why I love this sight gauge. Grant was coming up with a game plan to get the stay down. The Genoa needed to be replaced, but we couldn't get the roller head to come down the foil because there was a section of foil that was kinked. He decided to use the spinnaker halyard as a temporary head stay since we had to remove the old stay and old furler to get the sail down.
Alright, hon, I'm going up. Noel? I'm going up. Probably gonna have to come back down, knowing my luck. Hopefully disconnect the head stay.
Okay.
And then... Okay, you could help me always.
Cool.
So, see that when this pulley gets to here, it has to stop. So I have to reset. It's a 2-to-1. You see that?
So you want me to like kind of hold you?
You could pull. You could ascend me.
Although my experience with climbing up a mast is quite limited, and even more limited with assisting and hauling, I have climbed with Grant all over Tuolumne Meadow in Yosemite, California. It's where some of our favorite climbing is located. Climbing was one of the first things we did together. Some could say our first project together was climbing alpine peaks. And as I was hoisting Grant up the mast, that's where my mind went. And then it drifted to the idea that in the near future, I would probably miss it even more, as we may hopefully be surrounded by channel islands or dry desert landscape with nearby point breaks instead. And I was okay with that thought.
Can you go ahead and tension that, Allie?
Yeah, there's tension!
Go ahead and loosen the turnbuckle that's underneath the furling head sail. You need to loosen that. Underneath it, there's a big turnbuckle. As much tension as I can out of this.
Okay.
Which, actually, before you do that, let me see if I can do what I need to do up here.
You could just direct me to where this turnbuckle is. Where's the turnbuckle you were talking about?
See how forward going the motion there is? Look out.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Look out, lady.
It's a pirate. Oh, there's a person up there. Yeah.
I have the halyard that normally hoists the Genoa
Okay.
attached to as much as I can to like the whole stay.
Okay.
So when you put tension on it, I was hoping to relieve a little bit of tension that's actually in the stay.
Okay.
One of the problems is there's a decent amount of vector force because it's a big stainless steel cable.
Yeah.
So the turnbuckle over there,
Yep.
if you could loosen that. Hey babe.
Yeah.
I think I got it. I want you to just lower the Genoa halyard, the yellow one, just like 6 inches. Alright, stop.
Okay.
That'll work. Clean it off.
Cleated.
Maybe they tensioned the bobstay.
So it appears there was no turnbuckle there, so Noelle is not going crazy when she was asked to loosen the turnbuckle.
Keep the furler low. Okay, so now
I just finished up making some breakfast and going outside to see what Grant's up to.
plan is going just super smooth.
Whoa, what is going on?
Well, I'm trying to keep the foils on the headstay relatively straight.
Oh my god, we've occupied the whole dock.
So as we lower that down on the halyard, which is connected, I'll slowly take in. There's a little 3 to 1, and with luckily we have that little eddy which acts as a brake, which is nice. You know, eventually when it gets relatively flat, it's going to be impossible to actually keep it perfectly straight. It's not perfectly straight now, but it's straight enough.
Thankfully, our neighboring boat friends Bo and Cariana lent a helping hand with moving the Genoa on land, so we could inspect the sail and inspect the foils to see if it was possible to straighten out.
So we need to get this sheet off, which is surprisingly stuck, just being a girth hitch. We have to get the sail off the foil, which will be kind of a shimmy. Then we have to try to separate the foils and basically just take everything apart.
Oh, is that where it's kinked?
It doesn't seem too kinked.
Yeah, let's investigate.
Crusty old snap shackle. Take the whole thing with it for now.
So that's where it was kinked. Right here. Can't really see from this angle.
Oh.
Come on. Come on.
Rust, grease, rusty bearings. I think it might still be serviceable. We got to work on taking our foils apart. You can see about a third of the way down there's a kink. But lots to address. Maybe not. I think it's hanging on.
Oh, you can get it.
Reasons this probably wasn't so good is these little guys, which act like bearings. Maybe I just slid them down. They're supposed, I would imagine they're supposed to be spread out evenly, and this tape's supposed to hold them in place.
Yeah.
And then the well, what once was
Someone else's. Okay, we finally disassembled the stay.
and it became complete trash. So
You had to take the angle grinder to this, huh?
just cut this off. So maybe we're wrong, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this old hood system was like an integrated in the stay. I don't know if anybody knows, but this is the bottom of the hood furler, and the stay goes into it, and this little set screw is just for, it's threaded at the end for where the eye would get threaded on. But we couldn't, this is one machined piece from what I gather, and it somehow is attached to the stay, whether it's like a swedge fitting or something in there. But anyways, it's done now. We cut it off. We took all the foils apart. The foils there's quite a few that are kinked. A couple that are kinked. So
Yeah, this one looks the really badly kinked one.
this was our problem right here. It's kinked both this way and that way.
Yeah. Yeah. This has got to be one of my favorite parts of living on the water. They're just playing. Wow. So cool. We're gosh, you just went over this. We need to what is it? No, okay. We're gonna hoist Grant up, and he's got to remove the
You should tell them what our problems are
the
first.
problem. We need to replace the stay sole.
No.
Nope.